Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this significant day, February 23rd. You are watching World Finance Pulse, your definitive source for meticulously verified and deeply analysed updates on Iraq's rapidly transforming economic landscape. Today's broadcast is dedicated to a single, monumental story that has, after years of speculation and debate, crystallized into a confirmed and world-altering reality. This is not another rumor circulating in the digital echo chambers of financial forums. It is a day that will be marked in economic history as the moment Iraq boldly redefined its monetary future. The development we're about to dissect has, in a matter of hours, captured the undivided attention of global economic watchers, institutional investors, and sovereign wealth funds, signaling a paradigm shift in the region's financial architecture. What was once a topic of hushed and tentative discussion among currency traders and geopolitical analysts has now been thrust onto the global stage through a live, televised, and unequivocally official government announcement, transforming abstract theory into observable, documented, and market-moving fact. For an extended period, stretching back nearly 2 decades, the question of whether, and more importantly, when, the Iraqi dinar would undergo a revaluation has been the subject of intense and often divisive debate. Currency holders, from small-scale individual investors to large hedge funds, have pored over economic indicators, political developments, and central bank missives, searching for a hint of the long-anticipated shift. Market analysts and financial bloggers have generated countless theories, projections, and timelines, creating a vast tapestry of speculation that range from the cautiously optimistic to the wildly improbable. However, what we are witnessing in this moment has decisively stepped out of the realm of theory and into the concrete reality of documented, observable fact. The revaluation is not merely a possibility anymore, it is real. It has been confirmed by Iraq's highest financial and governmental authorities, and its immediate and profound impact is now visibly rippling through global currency markets, forcing a rapid and comprehensive recalibration of international exchange platforms and investment strategies. What truly elevates this moment from a routine monetary adjustment to a historic economic event is not just the fact that a revaluation has occurred, but the sheer breathtaking magnitude of the leap. The new official exchange rate declared by the Central Bank of Iraq in full coordination with the Prime Minister's office and all key financial institutions has been set at a staggering 4.137 per IQD. This is far more than a minor adjustment or a symbolic gesture. It is a seismic leap that not only meets but dramatically surpasses the most optimistic long-shot projections ever entertained by veteran analysts. This rate fundamentally rewrites the perceived value of the Iraqi dinar on the world stage, instantly transforming it from a speculative high-risk currency into a potentially powerful unit of exchange. The sheer scale of this appreciation carries profound implications for Iraq's economy, its international trade relationships, and for the hundreds of thousands of holders worldwide who have patiently, and often against considerable skepticism, held onto their dinar through years of uncertainty. The official announcement was a meticulously orchestrated display of national unity and sovereign intent. Top-ranking representatives from the Central Bank of Iraq, the Ministry of Finance, and the nation's key economic advisory boards stood alongside Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani to collectively present the new exchange rate and articulate its far-reaching implications for the nation's future. This was not a quiet administrative rollout designed to avoid market disruption, nor was it a soft launch to test public reaction. It was a bold, confident, and coordinated unveiling of Iraq's strategic re-entry into the arena of global financial respectability. The tone resonating throughout the press conference was unmistakably clear. This is a sovereign step forward, a declaration of economic independence, and a fundamental transformation, not merely a technical monetary correction. The visual of a unified government presenting this new reality was a powerful message in itself, demonstrating a level of political cohesion and shared purpose that many international observers had previously doubted was possible. As the news of the revaluation broke and spread across global financial networks with the speed of light, the world's financial institutions immediately swung into action, initiating a complex and urgent process of recalibration. Currency markets, the lifeblood of international finance, responded almost instantly, with trading algorithms and human traders alike scrambling to process the new information. Banks, investment firms, and independent brokerages across continents from New York to London, from Tokyo to Dubai, began the arduous task of updating their digital platforms and internal systems to accurately reflect the updated rate, a process fraught with technical challenges and the need for absolute precision. The atmosphere within these financial hubs was a palpable mix of urgency, disbelief, and intense anticipation, with customer inquiries soaring to unprecedented levels and appointment requests flooding call centers, as investors and holders alike sought immediate clarity and guidance on how to navigate this new and unexpected landscape. This exchange rate change is far more than a mere numerical adjustment on a trading screen. It is a profound and potent symbol of Iraq's reassertion of itself as a serious and dynamic economic force in the Middle East and beyond. It represents a decisive narrative shift for a nation that has for too long been defined on the global stage by its past instability, conflict, and internal strife. This bold move powerfully signals a new chapter, one defined by its immense potential, its ongoing progress, and its unwavering commitment to fiscal reform. It signals a renewed wave of confidence from global financial institutions and represents a critical, hard-won milestone in Iraq's years-long, painstaking effort to stabilize, modernize, and fundamentally reform its entire financial infrastructure. While many casual observers may harbor doubts, viewing Iraq's history through a skeptical lens, this decisive and well-executed shift confirms the nation's long-term strategic commitment to achieving true economic resilience and integration with the global financial system. Beneath the surface of this remarkable breakthrough lies a deeper, more strategically significant message for the international community. Iraq's decisive currency revaluation is not solely a testament to successful internal fiscal reforms. It is a powerful and unambiguous strategic declaration of intent on the world stage. With this single bold move, the country is signaling in the clearest terms possible that it is fully open for business, actively courting foreign direct investment, and prepared to engage meaningfully, transparently, and as an equal partner with international allies and financial institutions. For a currency that was once widely dismissed by mainstream economists as a speculative long shot, a relic of a war-torn past with little hope of recovery, the Iraqi dinar is now commanding attention and earning newfound respect as a stable, functioning, and potentially appreciating unit of exchange, backed by a nation with vast natural resources and a renewed sense of purpose. The global reaction to this news, particularly from the vast and dedicated community of individuals who have held Iraqi dinar through years of turbulent headlines and dashed hopes, has been swift, emotional, and in many cases overwhelming. For countless holders, this new valuation represents the long-awaited culmination of over a decade of financial uncertainty, steadfast patience, and enduring belief in a vision that most others had abandoned. Individuals who acquired their dinar at exchange rates that were a mere fraction of today's announced valuation are now grappling with the exhilarating and often daunting reality of realizing significant, life-altering financial gains and the complex new responsibilities that inevitably accompany such a windfall. The shared stories of these patient holders who quietly held on through thick and thin are now forming a powerful collective testament to the virtue of long-term perspective and the potential rewards of conviction. In response to this historic event, financial institutions across the globe, particularly those in the United States, across Europe, and throughout the Middle East, are reporting a massive and sustained uptick in exchange inquiries from both individual and institutional clients. Banking systems, many of which had long relegated the Iraqi dinar to an obscure corner of their foreign currency operations, are now being urgently updated and reconfigured to accommodate the new rate and the anticipated surge in demand. We are seeing many institutions implement new temporary procedures to handle the exceptionally high transaction volumes, including the mandatory scheduling of in-person appointments, the imposition of temporary daily or weekly exchange limits to manage liquidity, and a thorough review and update of all necessary documentation and compliance requirements. The sheer scope and global scale of this movement have already led some financial historians to describe it as potentially one of the largest and most rapid voluntary currency exchanges in modern financial history. While the profound financial implications of this revaluation are naturally the primary focus, there is a critically important practical side to this story that all investors must navigate with extreme care and foresight. The legal, tax, and regulatory responsibilities triggered by such a significant gain are very real and can vary dramatically depending on an individual's country of residence and specific financial circumstances. Experts across the financial and legal advisory spectrum are unanimously urging individuals to pause, take a deep breath, and methodically take stock of their new position before making any hasty or ill-informed decisions. Converting large amounts of currency, especially following such a dramatic appreciation, can carry significant and lasting implications, including complex tax liabilities, mandatory government reporting requirements, and the need for enhanced financial transparency, all of which require careful planning and professional guidance to navigate successfully. Prime Minister al-Sudani directly addressed these profound changes and their implications during the historic national announcement, framing the event in terms that transcended mere economics. He eloquently characterized the re-evaluation as a profound reflection of Iraq's newly restored economic dignity and national pride. In his address, he presented this achievement not simply as the clinical outcome of policy adjustments and statistical improvements, but as a powerful, tangible result of national unity, shared sacrifice, and an unwavering collective determination to build a better future. He was careful to acknowledge the crucial role played by government institutions and economic planners, but he also went further, paying a heartfelt and significant tribute to the broader fabric of Iraqi civil society. He specifically thanked tribal leaders, faith communities, and ordinary citizens across the nation for their resilience and for helping to sustain, through incredibly difficult times, a shared vision of national recovery and renewal. The Prime Minister powerfully emphasised that this economic milestone is intended to be understood as just one integral part of a much broader, more ambitious national vision for the future. This re-evaluation, he argued, reflects something far more significant than mere numbers on a financial statement. It is a powerful symbol of restored trust in Iraq's governance, its responsible management of vast natural resources, and its capacity for long-term strategic national planning. According to his vision, this event is not an end in itself, but rather the beginning of an entirely new era for the nation, an era in which Iraq's rich soil, its abundant natural resources, and most importantly, its talented and resilient people will serve as the primary engines of sustainable, diversified, and inclusive national growth. The core message, directed at both the Iraqi people and the watching international community, was one of restored strength, renewed stability, and a confident, forward-looking ambition. In a move that surprised many international observers and added a layer of technological sophistication to the financial restructuring, Iraq also unveiled a major national milestone, the official launch of its central bank digital currency, the digital dinar. This is not a tentative pilot program or a controlled test environment run on a limited basis. It is a fully functional nationwide CBDC, already integrated with advanced blockchain infrastructure to support secure, instantaneous, and fully verifiable transactions, both within Iraq's borders and across the international financial system. This decisive leap forward marks Iraq's ambitious and confident entry into the digital financial future, signaling an intent to compete not just on traditional economic metrics, but also on the cutting edge of financial technology. The digital dinar is specifically designed to work seamlessly with smart contracts to support complex programmable payments for government services and business transactions, and to integrate smoothly with existing global banking networks, a strategic step that places Iraq among a select group of truly forward-thinking countries that are actively redefining how national currencies will operate in an increasingly digital and interconnected world. While many developed and developing nations are still in the very early stages of testing and debating the theoretical merits of CBDCs, Iraq has now executed a full-scale live launch. This achievement is all the more remarkable given that it combines a fundamental monetary reform, the revaluation, with a radical technological innovation, creating a synergistic effect that few, if any, international analysts had predicted was possible for Iraq at this stage. This dual development, a revaluation and a digital currency rollout occurring in perfect synchrony, demonstrates an unprecedented level of deep coordination and strategic alignment between Iraq's monetary authorities, its regulatory bodies, and its political leadership. It is a powerful signal of a maturing and increasingly sophisticated economic system that is not only stable, but is also positioning itself proactively for a new phase of rapid and sustainable growth. Leading international economic analysts are now suggesting that this kind of forward-thinking integration could fundamentally reposition Iraq for long-term economic diversification, moving it beyond its traditional and often volatile reliance on oil revenues. By simultaneously modernizing its currency and creating a state-of-the-art digital financial infrastructure, Iraq is effectively opening the door to the development of entirely new economic sectors, including a domestic fintech industry, a range of digital services for its population, and the attraction of significant foreign capital inflows into technology and infrastructure at a scale that was simply not previously possible under the old system. This strategic move signals to the world that Iraq is looking to the future and intends to be a player in the new digital economy. International reactions to this dual announcement have been dynamic, swift, and, for the most part, remarkably positive. Key regional allies, including the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, have been quick to issue statements praising Iraq's bold modernization efforts, explicitly citing the immense potential for enhanced regional economic cooperation and cross-border digital financial integration. Financial leaders and central bank governors across Europe are now actively engaging with their counterparts at the Central Bank of Iraq to better understand the new digital platform and to ensure the smooth and secure integration of their respective financial systems. Even long-standing international critics of Iraq's governance have been compelled to publicly acknowledge the undeniable boldness, scale, and sophisticated execution of Iraq's coordinated actions, even while some continue to question the underlying political motivations and long-term stability of the reforms.
The United States has responded with a measured tone of cautious but genuine interest, with senior Treasury officials describing the move as promising, while also acknowledging its inherent complexity.
They have publicly pledged to observe the rollout of both the new currency valuation and the digital dinar very closely, with the stated goal of ensuring full alignment with global financial regulations, including those pertaining to anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism. For the moment, however, the prevailing global perception is leaning decidedly toward respect and a renewed willingness to engage. Iraq is no longer being viewed simply as a fragile, post-conflict nation struggling to recover instead. It is increasingly being seen and discussed as a serious, emerging economic player on the global stage, one that is demonstrating serious intent and the capacity for sophisticated strategic action. Across the vast landscape of social media, financial forums, and live stream commentary, the profound emotional impact of this historic moment is playing out in real time, visible for all to see. Long-time dinar holders, many of whom had been ridiculed or dismissed for years, are now posting their unfiltered reactions, their messages ranging from expressions of sheer, joyful disbelief to open and unrestrained celebration. The shared stories now flooding online communities of those who quietly, patiently, and often against all advice held onto their currency for many years now form a powerful, collective, and deeply moving testament to the power of enduring belief, extraordinary patience, and a conviction that defied the prevailing wisdom. However, in the midst of this justified celebration, a chorus of responsible voices from the financial professional community is strongly urging everyone to make sound, rational, and well-informed decisions. It is a well-established truth that emotions can run dangerously high during a sudden and unexpected financial windfall. And this is precisely the moment when practical, lensing planning must be allowed to take priority. Experts across the board are strongly advising all holders, without exception, to immediately seek out and consult with qualified tax consultants, accredited financial advisors, and legal professionals who specialize in such matters. This professional guidance is absolutely essential to avoid making costly, irreversible mistakes and to build robust, personalized strategies designed not just to protect their newfound assets, but also to manage and grow them responsibly over the long term. One critical yet still under-discussed aspect of this new financial reality that investors must now face is the fundamental shift toward managing and understanding digital assets. With the official and operational launch of the digital dinar, the entire financial landscape in Iraq, and for those holding the currency, has fundamentally and permanently evolved. Gaining a functional understanding of blockchain technology, the secure management of digital wallets, and the implementation of robust cybersecurity practices will soon become just as important as understanding traditional currency exchange rates and market dynamics. Those who proactively choose to adapt, to learn, and to embrace this new digital paradigm will almost certainly fare better in the long run than those who resist the change or fail to recognize its transformative potential. This moment in its entirety is about so much more than just a new set of numbers displayed on a screen. It is a profound and inspiring story about a country in the process of actively rewriting its own future. The trajectory from decades of conflict and debilitating instability to a position of proactive innovation and comprehensive economic reform is nothing short of remarkable. Iraq's financial evolution, once a subject of doubt and speculation, is now undeniably front and center on the world stage, a compelling narrative of national transformation. The crucial decisions that are being made today, not only by government ministers and central bankers, but also by individual investors and global financial institutions, will collectively influence not just immediate market outcomes, but also the long-term stability, prosperity, and trajectory of the nation for many decades to come. For our valued viewers, the key takeaway from today's in-depth analysis is this: patience and sustained awareness have, together, brought us all to this pivotal point in history. Now, it is the principles of discipline, informed decision-making, and strategic forward thinking that will ultimately determine how this exciting new chapter will unfold for each individual. The re-evaluation of the Iraqi dinar and the simultaneous launch of its digital counterpart are not isolated, standalone headlines destined to be quickly forgotten. They are, in fact, the dynamic and powerful beginning of a broader, deeper transformation that will continue to demand our close attention, our thorough understanding, and our careful proactive preparation. We urge you to stay informed, to remain critically engaged with the verified facts, and to continue following our dedicated coverage here at World Finance Pulse for ongoing, updated reports, rigorous and verified analysis, and the essential insights you need to move forward on your financial journey with clarity, confidence, and a well-informed perspective. This is, without question, a defining moment in modern financial history, not just for the nation of Iraq, but for every single person who has been watching, waiting, and patiently preparing for this moment of profound and positive change. The future is unfolding right now before our eyes, and how you choose to respond in these critical early days will undoubtedly shape your financial path ahead. Thank you for watching.